Hi and welcome back to my channel. So I'm Holly and today I've filmed for you a Valentine's Day makeup look. So we're all going to be sitting in our front rooms with sod all to do, but you know what, we can be warm, we can be with the people we love, we can cook some scrumptious food and we can get glammed up. So if you want to know how I achieved this look, well, just carry on watching. So once you've worked your transition shade into the crease, I'm now going to move on to a darker shade. So I'm using the Bperfect palette and this is the shade Rowdy. So I'm just picking it up on a My Kitco brush, which is the I think it's a 1.14 brush. So I'm just going to take this colour and put it into my outer crease. So you just want to slot in there, start at the top just so the product build-up doesn't drag your eye down too much. Build the product up and then when it starts to kind of come off the brush, when you're left with not much, then start to blend it out a little bit more. And what I like to do sometimes is just to drag it out a wincy bit when you start to lose product on the brush. So I'm now going to go in and kind of do like a matte liner using the MAC Embark shade, which is like a matte brown, and then a flathead brush. So I'm just going to go out, get a load of product. I mainly want it to be darker on the outside corner here, so I'm just going to start off here. And you know what, if you're not confident with eyeliner, when you're using a powder, I feel like it's a lot more easier because it's meant to be like a diffuse look anyway. With gel liners, if you're not confident with them, steer clear of them. Just use a eyeshadow. So then once there's no product left on the brush, you're just going to go in and smudge that out. So I kind of do backwards and forwards motions. Just lifting it up slightly higher. I'm just going to take a little bit of that product on a smaller head brush by MAC. I think this is the 217. And then I'm just going to get it right into the crease. Not the crease, the outer corner. So just little circular motions just to bring in that outer corner. Just to diffuse the product a bit more. It's kind of a smoky sort of matte eye. Then to make sure everything transitions together, I always pick up my original shade, the bronzer shade, and then I'm just going to go over everything. Just come right around, make sure it all kind of blends nicely together, because we don't want any harsh lines. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my mascara ready for lashes. So I'm using the Lash Sensational mascara. So I always apply my mascara before my lashes because I always find like the stickiness of the mascara helps the two combine well together. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my false lashes. So I'm just using the duo glue and I've got a little bit of mascara on. Some people like to use tweezers to apply theirs, but when I haven't got nails on I just prefer using my fingers. So I place the middle in first and then I place the two outer edges. And then just give it a little push. The duo glue is really good because it dries really quickly as well. There you go, everything looks better with lashes. And then what I'm going to do is apply a tiny bit of mascara just to kind of, fuse the two together. So the concealer I'm using is the famous Tarte concealer. This is the Shape Tape and this is in the shade Fair Beige. And I like using the lightest concealer just to get rid of those dang dark circles under there. So I'm just applying this underneath. And then I'm going to use a damp beauty blender and take this up closer to my waterline. So I've used Embark on my lower lash line and I'm just going to smudge that in a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with my lighter colours. So I always start the darkest at the waterline as such and then work down to the lightest one, which will end up being my bronzer, the transition colour. And then once you end up with not much product on the brush, just go back in and then just make sure that it all blends nicely. And then you can start to drag it out to the outer edges, but I'm going to show you something later with a bronzer once we've finished all the makeup on how to get more of a little bit of a fox eye. So I'm just going to go ahead again with my Lash Sensational mascara and just apply it to my bottom lashes. Okay, so that's it for the eyes. I'm just going to go ahead and do my other one, and then I'm going to zoom you out and we're going to focus on sorting this base out. Okay, so now I've done my eyes, I'm going to go in and work on my base. So I'm using the Tarte. This is the Shape Tape Pore and Prime Balm. That's it. Okay, so I'm just going to use it on bits where my pores are a little bit too big. So down here, mainly just across my T-zone, and then around my nose, and a little bit there. And what I've actually done before I even start my makeup was use my favourite Bobbi Brown primer. So this is the vitamin enriched face base. And now what I'm going to do is, I haven't used this yet, so I'm trusting everyone's views and opinions on it, as everyone is saying it's amazing. So I'm going to try it out today, and I'm going to trust that it is actually very good. And then I'm also using the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter Primer, which I use all the time and I know I love. So this base is going to be nice and dewy and glowy. So if you don't like a sort of dewy look, say you're a bit more oily, which I usually am, but I just love a dewy, glowy base. So if you are oily, then just skip out the Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, because this primer's got sort of like a glow to it. It's not shiny, but it's more of like a just had a facial sort of look. So what I'm going to do is just apply a little bit of this. Kind of just dot it all over. Because I want to get a mix of the two to get that sort of dewy sort of look. And then I'm going to go in, I'm trusting this is my shade in the Nars foundation. I've got a bit of tan on, so hopefully, you know, it should be okay, but I'll let you know what I think of it. And then I'm going to dot this Nars foundation all over. So this is the Radiant foundation, and I got it in the shade Stromboli, because I used to be this in the Nars Sheer Glow, so I just figured I should still be okay with this one. So then once you've done that, I'm then going to take a smaller brush. I've been using this brush actually because I saw a makeup artist use it online, a lot more smaller, and I think you get more of like sort of an airbrushed effect. So I'm just going to pat that in for now and really pack it onto the skin to make it last. The coverage looks really good on this Nars foundation so far. And you know what, the colour's actually looking pretty good. So I put tan all over my body apart from my face, because some people know, if you watch my Instagram stories, I'm really struggling with my skin at the moment since changing like some of my medication. So I've been using a new cream actually. I think it's called benzoyl peroxide, and it's literally worked wonders. My skin is, it's looking a lot better, but obviously, as you know, like some of you have got blemishes, they take bloody ages to heal the scars. So I'm just working this all around my face and just blending it in, really pack the product on, and just keep moving the brush to kind of move the product around. I'm just gonna get some more of that foundation. And I'm gonna apply a little bit more of that Flawless Filter, because I just love the shine. Really loving this foundation. I feel like my face is glowing without being like shiny and oily. It just covers up all my blemishes and then still looks really good. Right, sorry, getting carried away with that foundation. So I'm now gonna go in with my Tarte concealer, and this is in the shade Fair Beige. So this is just the best concealer ever. It's really thick, but it doesn't crease whatsoever. So I'm just going to take this up to my nose and down. And then I'm just going to pop a little bit on my forehead here, on my cheeks, and top of my Cupid's bow. Anywhere kind of where the light hits. And then I'm going to use my damp beauty blender, and I'm just going to blend all those out. Then I'm just blending it down my nose. Okay, so now we've got that concealer on, we're going to go in and darken things up a bit, because as you can see, it's all looking really white and super bright. So I'm just going to go in and pop a little bit of contour in just to darken things up a little bit. So I'm using the F13 Makeup Revolution. These are the contour sticks, and they're so cheap, but they're literally so good. I've used them for quite a while now. And then I'm taking my foundation brush. I like that I've kind of got a bit of excess product in there. I find it helps it all to blend a lot better. And then I'm just going to take this down my cheekbone, but keeping everything super high. And then we're going to bake it to clean it all up afterwards. So start with most of the product, obviously, on the back of your cheek. And then when you start to lose product, then bring it to the front. I actually quite like bringing my contour, like the tiniest bit of the residue product, down onto here now. I feel like it gives my face just a bit more structure. Just going to go ahead and do the other side. And then again, I'm just dragging it down a little bit. It's kind of accentuating like the way the light naturally goes anyway, but not making it too, I don't know, sort of dark. So when I get to here, you can see your natural shadow wants to bring it down anyway into here. You can see the hide points that are popping out in the middle of my face there. So what I do is just take the tiniest residue of the product. You know, you can see from the camera kind of where the hollows are falling anyway. Then I'm just going to bring it down into here and kind of swoop it under there, just to make that sort of apple on my chin pop a little bit more. Take it into my temples where my natural bone structure kind of falls, and where there would be dark shadows. You know, if you went in like a dark room, you could see kind of where your bone structure and your contour should actually go. And then what I also like to do is take a little bit of product and just kind of shimmy it under here as the bottom. So as the shadow causes the bottom lip to look a lot bigger, because you've got a shadow kind of underneath it. So that is a very good trick. So once you're happy with your highlight and your contour, we're going to go in and we're going to use the Charlotte Tilbury bronzing powder. And I'm going to go back over where we went with the cream one, because like I said, every cream needs to be set with the powder. A little bit on my nose, under there, and a bit under. Okay, and then while I crack on with my eyebrows, I'm going to use my new Mercier translucent powder. You can tell it's new, it's still got packaging on. Literally haven't worn makeup, so I haven't tested anything out. I'm just gonna get a bit of that. And we're gonna do a bit of baking today, ladies. So I'm just gonna clean up under here. I'm just gonna literally swipe down. Just gives you a lot more like of a chiseled look, you can see straight away. And then we're just gonna leave that on to set, and then we'll dust it off once I've done my brows. Let me just get a bit more product. That's better. So I'm using a Zoeva Brow pencil. So sometimes I laminate them, but today they're unruly anyway, so I'm just gonna apply this pencil and just give them a bit more shape. So I'm just following my natural shape. I've been using a product called UK Lash on my brows to make them grow. And do you know what? They feel really good at the minute. And then I've just popped a bit of a tint on just to give them a bit of colour. So what I'm doing is just going with my natural shape, and then when I get to the front, I'm just going to turn the pencil and flick it upwards just to create more of like a natural. Okay, sorry, my camera died. Back to it. Been baking quite a while. So I'm going to get my brush and then just dust that off, and you can see that that gives us a nice sharper line for contour. And then what I'm going to do is go in with my Loreal Life's a Peach blush, and I'm just going to apply this to the apples of my cheeks just to give it a bit of colour. I'm going to go in and highlight with my favourite ever highlighter, which is the Illamasqua OMG highlighter, and it is literally OMG. It is so good. So what I'm going to do is just apply a wincy bit to my inner corners there, just to highlight everything up, and open my eyes. And then I'm going to take a fluffy brush and then just do a bit on my cheekbones. So just light whisking sort of motions. Okay, I'm going to go off. I'm going to go and finish off the lips with Ruby Woo by MAC. So I've just got it in this little container here. It is that one on the end. So I'm just going to pick up some of the product. So this is like a matte red as well. So mattes obviously last a lot longer than sheer lip colours. And we all like a bit of that. I always feel really weird wearing reds, or I don't ever wear red. But as it's Valentine's Day, you know, you've got to have some sort of red in there. So that's it for my Valentine's Day makeup look. I feel a lot more like me now with a bit of makeup on after slobbing it all week. I've paired my nails and my lips because I'm that organised, or I've got way too much time on my hands. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope you have a fantastic Valentine's Day. If you spend it on your own, with your boyfriend, with whoever, just have an amazing day, be happy. And yeah, that's it guys. I will list all the products down below. And again, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.